All right. One of the things we talk about a lot on this podcast is the idea that your next passion might still be ahead of you. And I think
Hmm.
today's guest is such a great example of what can happen when you find something, you go all in, and then you turn that passion into something that impacts other people. Brandon Neskpong, did I do it?
Insect pong. That's
That was
okay
my
though.
first question for you. How do we pronounce the last name?
Ensek,
Insect pong. Yeah,
Nsekpong.
like if you put an I in front of it and say it insect pong, that would be it.
Nsekpong. Brandon
Yeah.
Nsekpong is a pro pickleball player, the creator of CoachAdapt, and was voted the number one pickleball coach in Austin. But what really interested Neely and I about Brandon isn't just about how well he plays the game. It's what he's doing with it, with a little help maybe from his dad long ago. The coaching, the mentorship, the community that you're building, and the way that you're using pickleball to make an impact really wanted us to reach out to you and to talk to you. So Brandon and then Sekpong,
There you go. Yeah.
welcome to the Real Housewives of Pickleball.
Awesome. I'm
Yay.
glad to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm
We're so glad to have you.
officially a real housewife, you know. I
Yeah.
never thought my career would take me there, but it's okay.
I
Oh, we love it.
mean,
No, actually, Brandon, what you don't know right now, and what the listeners may not know, is that Natasha is recording from the beaches of Nantucket.
yeah.
So if you can't see because, well, in the YouTube version, there we have these Real Housewives backgrounds, so you can't see the actual beach, but the wind is blowing through her hair, and if a seagull swoops down and takes off your glasses, now you'll know why.
Natasha, I'm so sorry you have to do this on the beach. I'm sorry.
I'm not literally on the beach, but I am poolside. So
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Similar.
yeah, very similar. So I want to start before we get into conversation, before Coach Adapt, before even Pro Pickleball.
Mhm.
I read in an article, it was a Empower Pickleball article that your dad intentionally encouraged you to participate in sports where there weren't necessarily a lot of people who looked like you because he wanted to expose you to different environments and opportunities. So I have two questions from that. The first part is at the time, did you understand what he was trying to do? And now that you found yourself in pro pickleball, does his thinking make more sense to you? And then the second question is if you can take us back to those younger years where you were an incredible multi-sport athlete, long before pickleball, and the story about your dad and how he helped you.
Yeah. Short answer is no. I had no understanding of what was happening
Mhm.
at that time as a kid. In fact, I mean, I hated it because I'm going to school in the inner city in Dallas, and I'm a very personable person, like to be social. You're hanging out with friends and everyone's like, we're gonna go play basketball. Like I can't go because I gotta go to tennis practice or I gotta go home and hit 1,000 shadow swings of table tennis in the mirror, right? Like just some stuff that no one even close to me was doing, and I would have
Mhm.
to go home and do those every single time. So,
Mhm.
I mean, it built. I always say I can tap into this discipline aspect of sports because of those years where my dad was just instilling like you're going to go and you're going to drill every single day. You don't know why, but you're just going to hit the same shots over and over and you're going to do it until
Mhm.
it's perfect. And then even when you don't want to do it, all of that stuff, which again can seem frustrating as a kid because there's no way perspective wise I was going to understand it. I thought about that as I got older that, maybe at 7, 6 years old, if my dad was like, hey, here's why we're doing this, would it have helped a little bit? Maybe, but I don't think as a kid I could fully grasp like his reasoning. And selfishly, those were they were also some sports that he liked, so it was a blend of like he likes these, he wants me to participate, and also those ended up being the ones that were more of a he felt like from a business perspective, you're going to network with people by playing these sports. And I see it almost every week where someone will say, hey, I know you play pickleball, but do you golf? And I'm like, I mean, I haven't played golf in years, but I can play a little bit. And then there's always a friend of mine that's like, no, he can play. Like, he's really good. I'm like, I'm not really good. I did used to play in tournaments. I did used to play a bunch, but I'm not very good. I'm just good enough to hold conversation and maybe mix in most like average golf groups, right? But that came
Yeah.
from my dad. I never cared about playing golf until he pushed me in golf. So yeah, though that was the experience there where we just kept he just kept trying things. I mean, I went to play table tennis and then I played actual tennis and then I'm playing golf. All of these things that are on the south end of what my friends are doing, right? Where they're in our front yard playing basketball. And I actually kind of like forced my way into playing basketball. I wanted to do it so much. I put a lot of pressure on my dad, crying about it different nights. Like, I don't want to do this. I want to play basketball. And, he finally let me do it as I got older and I got to high school, which veered into something that I was passionate about at the time, but also didn't lose some of the things that he was teaching there. So I look back at all of that. I went through all of the emotions, to be honest, like a lot of resentment for years. Like, man, push me in something. Did my dad even like me? We never even shared some moments that I would want to share. But then the flip side, the understanding of, man, this incredible discipline and belief that I could actually accomplish whatever I want to do as long as I just put my mind to it. And I know how to tactically make that happen, like put a plan in place. That stuff came from my dad, right? So it's kind of both ends where it's like a mixed childhood, but I think overall it worked out for the better because I'm here now.
Can I ask you a question, Brandon? Because you're a father now, correct? I know you have a son. Do you have more than?
5-year-old son named Camden and a 3-year-old daughter named.
Okay, so a 5-year. So, right, to your point, what you were saying, there was resentment, frustration, confusion. Did my father even like me? That all that stuff growing up. Obviously, looking back now, you can understand that there were a lot of positives from what he exposed you to. And I'm curious though, now that you're a dad, because I talk a lot about on this show, um, how to navigate that relationship with your kids if they're into athletics, right? So both my girls are into tennis and soccer, and I was a college tennis player. And so I typically find the navigating that whole relationship very challenging because I'm so competitive, right? And I want my daughters to succeed and thrive. Uh, but there are probably some things that I do that maybe I shouldn't. And so I'm curious now that you're a parent, are there things that you would do differently with your kids if they do intend to pursue athletics?
Yeah, 100%. Right now, I thought about that as it's not something that I ever felt like I would go to the extreme. Like my dad went all in, and
Mm.
I'm the other opposite side of that, where hey, my kid can do whatever he wants. I'm just gonna, support you from afar. I'm not gonna push you in it. I'm not there, right? I'm not all the way on that side. But I do believe that as generations go forward, that we're just gonna continually get better. We're just gonna iterate on, what I'm gonna take all the good stuff that my dad did, and I want to add like one or two things to that, or as much as I can to my son, or my son and my daughter, which a lot of that comes from, to be honest, the display of love on a day-to-day basis. Like it's like, all right, hey, love you. Hey, give them a bunch of hugs. Usually you see that. Parents didn't get
Did
that a
you
bunch.
get that from your dad?
I didn't get that a ton, like really
Nothing.
at all, right?
No.
So growing up, it's like, man, I wanted that piece. And then now for my kids, they get that like a lot, way more, right? 200% times more, which is good. That's a good piece. But there's also some things that I always want to make sure the core values are something that are still the same, which is like, I want to always challenge my kids. I
Mm.
don't really care what they're doing, but I'm going to push you and challenge you in something because I want you to expand. Like I'm going to support you in it. But I also want you to be the best version that you can be within that. Now, at the same time, a piece that again that I wish I had as a kid, but you can't go back and things are different when it comes to like how my dad grew up and relationship with my mom. And there's so many other, right, like variables where we kind of forget that are going on. We think it's just about us. So some of those things played a factor in there as well. But like I really want with like my son that I am going to support him in whatever he does. I would love for him to play pickleball. I think he could be great at pickleball. I think he'd be the best pickleball player ever. And I want to
I
push
saw a
him.
clip of him out there on the courts. It's actually you
Yeah.
pinned it because it was your most popular post on your Instagram page.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram again? Just so that the handle.
Brandon Nsekpong at Brandon Nsekpong.
Okay, yeah. And it was one of the pinned posts, and it was the most adorable clip of your son playing pickleball with you, you were feeding him balls.
Yeah.
And my heart like literally melted for this kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves it. And he's a character and, I mic'd him up and like I want him to do stuff on camera and show his personality and all that. The little nuance I feel like I've changed from my childhood is there are these like check-ins with him where I'm like, is he enjoying it? Do you like it? And I want to make sure there's this combination of he is enjoying it, but I can also push him a little bit to where it's maybe slightly past enjoying, but then put him back. Right. So I felt like I was on the spectrum of there was like no enjoyment for a long time.
Mm.
And I had to come back and find like, oh, this is the reason why I was pushed in these things I don't like. I don't want him to have a 7-10 year gap before he realizes those things, right? I kind of want it to be I look and he plays pickleball and he has a good time. I love when I'm at home and he says, Dad, we haven't played pickleball in a while and, you need to take me. And I'm like, man, I can't, like for certain reasons, like I can't today. But I like that because I want to see that he actually wants to do it. And I want to keep that balance there versus me forcing him to do something because that's my fear, right? Force him to do
Yes.
something. He's
Yes.
good at it, but he hates it.
Right. Okay, quick question for you though. And then Tosh, I'll let you jump in. But okay, thoughts on small bribes with your kids? Because hear me out. My mom was recounting a story to me a couple of weeks ago about how when I was in high school, she knew I had talent in tennis. But I like to hang out with my friends too. And she said she would give me $20 if I skipped the sleepover at so and so's house and instead played in the tournament. And I'm like, I have no memory of this whatsoever, but it sounds not good, right? Like that drive should have been it has to come somewhat internally, right?
Yeah.
But then just before hit record, my daughter, we got one of those tennis nets that spits out balls, and we have it in our garage. And it spits out balls, and you just hit the balls back into the net, and it comes back out. And I had said to her, if you can hit 100 forehands in a row and 100 backhands in a row, we'll go to Learning Express, and I'll get you something fun. And so she's down there trying to do the challenge, and I just heard her screaming her head off because she was like, I got to 83, and now I have to start all over again.
Oh man.
Literally right before we hit record, I was kind of dying internally. But tell me what you think about that strategy. Good, bad?
I actually love it. I think incentives are good. They're definitely something that push people, right? You give them some the intrinsic motivation isn't always there, right? Especially with
Mm.
where it just changes, minute by minute. So if you could attach something else, I think I think it's a win because they don't understand that they're having to do something and then there's some fun built in and rewards.
Okay.
And then if they fail, you get to have a conversation about what that looks like, why,
Yes.
you should be passionate. So I think it's a good one.
It's
Okay,
almost like
I'm
a
not a
kid's
bad parent.
language.
What?
You're speaking their language, like
Yeah. Just don't make it candy, okay? Don't make it candy.
yeah.
Make it something
That
I
else.
defeats the
I definitely
purpose.
will.
Yeah,
Candy,
Yeah.
completely.
candy
All
gets me.
right. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay.
not a terrible parent. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Tosh.
Well, you reminded me, Neely, when one of my sons, I have three kids, older, 20, 19, and 16, but my middle son, he played club lacrosse for a while. But I remember when he was probably in elementary school, like pretty young, they had a challenge for him, and the reward was that if you do like, so many behind the back, so many, right hand, left hand, all these different throws against the bounce back. If you complete the challenge, you have to send in a video of you completing it all in one shot, not edited, obviously. And then you get this slick black lacrosse helmet. And like you're the kid that has the black lacrosse helmet. So,
Mm,
yeah, I remember hearing my son complaining, especially when he would get to a certain number and then be like, oh, I got to do it all over again because he was
Yeah,
bidding
yeah.
himself.
yeah.
But it got him to do it,
Yeah.
and he's still playing lacrosse to this day.
Hmm.
I like the discipline. It starts to kind of like open up for a kid, especially that young,
Yeah,
for
I
them
think
to just go
sorry.
ahead.
No,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
no.
Sorry, Kay. I was going to say, I've talked about before that I just want to expose my son and daughter to as many different things as possible and then find which one. Like I want to do it as early as possible. Like
Mm,
let's play some pickleball, let's play some soccer. Probably not football. I'm not a huge fan of it, but okay, if you want to play football, you can play some football, but something, it doesn't even have to be sports, to be honest. It's just, I just want them to find something that they like. And then as a parent, I feel like it's my job to kind of identify what they could be naturally good at, that they have a
Hmm.
quick head start. And then
Hmm.
boom, now we can try to train in it or add some discipline to it and see if there's something there. And maybe there is for a certain point, and then there's not, and we're going to pivot, right? But as long as those core things are there, the discipline, ability to overcome challenges, them developing as a person, as a kid, I'm good with that. I feel like those things just fulfill me more than anything versus the actual accomplishments that my kid can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said something really important that kind of like piqued my attention was the adapting and changing, gears when needed because yeah, I've seen my kids they're almost past their high school years and I've seen them go through a process with different sports, each of them choosing their own kind of sport. And sports, I should say, because when they're younger, they played a lot more. Um, and yeah, my oldest started in certain sports, but then high school came around and then he wasn't as motivated or interested to pursue one of the sports that we invested so much time and energy and committed to. And but yeah, as a parent, I will say that for me it was hard to shift gears because I was so in it with him, driving him to practices and all the huge commitment that it takes at all club or even sports parents or I should say even extracurricular, right? For anything that you do with your kid, it takes time and effort to get them there and to keep them motivated and but yeah, it like adapting and then also like it brings up so many good points in life that do translate onto the court.
Yeah.
Because my mind is always thinking pickleball in the background too,
Right, right.
right?
And I can give you one that's extremely close to home because honestly, if my son says, "Hey, I don't want to play pickleball anymore," yeah, I mean a little bit it hurts. Like, man, I want him to play pickleball, but not actually that much. Like, I'm
Hmm.
fine if he doesn't want to be a pickleball star or play a bunch. That's fine. The one that actually that I would say I partially struggle with is the fact that he's so good on camera with stuff that he does and I see like that. I know that that's a skill or something that he's developing that not everyone had. Like limited amount of people have that particular talent where they're comfortable on camera and they can, they've got charisma and stuff. And so that's actually one I do struggle with where I want to mic him up a lot. I want to have him on camera and show him things and let him show his personality. And I
Right.
have to actually manage that. I have to go, okay. I mean, one time I did mic him up while we were doing pickleball and he's like, I don't want to do this. And I was like, oh, I was like, man,
Mm.
that one got me because he doesn't have to, right? But I'm like, you're good at this. I'm telling you. And so
Right.
that
Right.
Yeah.
reminds me of something closer to what like my dad was doing. He saw certain things and he's like, this is it. And I could feel myself falling into that at times when it comes to his personality and his like on camera charisma. That's
Yeah.
what I'm
But look
working
at
on.
that self-awareness, Brandon. I mean,
I
your
mean,
dad
yeah,
might not have had that much self-awareness, whereas right now, I mean, you have the awareness that you're doing this, you're falling into the pattern that your dad did, and you didn't like that. And I think that's the first step. Awareness is the key in life to so many things.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to stay with it. We'll see. He might, he might be a child star, I hope, but if not, just entertain at home, I guess.
Well,
What do they say? They say kids are your mirror, something like that. There's a better saying, a better quote than that, but basically, like, yeah, they will show you the way, and yeah,
well, it's funny because Brandon, you're probably not there yet because your kids are 5 and 3, but mine are 11 and 9, and they're starting to compete in tennis tournaments and soccer tournaments. For me, the anxiety comes more with tennis because I was a college tennis player and it was a huge part of my life. And so I'll go to watch them in tournaments, and I'm sitting there watching with so much angst. It's like
Mhm.
I have to like my hands are inside my pockets and I'm like squeezing my fist so hard so nobody sees my tension. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is 10 and under tennis. And how the hell am I going to make it through high school and college tennis? Like if they choose to pursue it. But it does. And then, if she makes a bad mistake, in my head, I'm like, how could you do that? And I get frustrated that she's not learning quick enough. And all of these things are things that I feel and I am with myself.
I was going to ask
And
you that.
oh, 100%. Why am I not getting better quicker? Have I reached my ceiling? Da, 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 da. And so it is a mirror. It really is. And your kids aren't there yet, but it's tough to watch your kids playing sports.
I've narrowed it down to that there's really only like I would say two main core values I would say in my mind that if I can do these two, this is just for me personally as a parent or at our household. If I can do these two, I feel good about it. One is gratitude, because I just think as they go through life, if they have gratitude for their parents, situation, and other people, humility, I think that's going to be great. You need it. But the
Mhm.
other one is confidence. And so, like, those two things are really what I'm always probing into my kids about. Like, hey, did you say thank you for this? They don't even know
Mhm.
why they're saying thank you, but I want you to get the repetitions of why you would say thank you for this. Or sometimes they'll say, I don't know, today is Wednesday or what? Yeah, they'll say today is Wednesday, and I'll say no, it's not, and they're like, no, Dad, it is. I'm like, it's not Wednesday, and I'm only doing that. I just want them to prove to me it's Wednesday. I just want them to build a little confidence, and sometimes it goes too far when they're in the car and they're like, I'm telling you, it's Wednesday. I'm like, okay, but if I can get those two in sports and life, I'm gonna feel good about it, to be honest. And that's kind of why, like I said, that on-camera piece, I like pushing him in that because that just screams confidence that you can
Yeah.
get there and the camera's in front of you and you can talk and perform. I love the confidence piece for my kids because I know those two will take them really wherever they want to go.
And
Yeah.
confidence not only when you're winning, but confidence especially when you're so-called losing or just not feeling it or feeling off or whatever.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I think that's that's a great value to instill in your kids for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to kind of just ride the wave.
Yeah, and the other thing I was going to say, and then you can move on to a different topic, but the drive I think with kids does have to be somewhat internal, right? Because otherwise
Mm,
it's the Tiger Woods' dad like pushing him, and then the kid doesn't turn out so well later on in life, or they become super resentful or hate the sport. And I think we saw that a similar story with Tyra Hurricane Black, and we were talking with Tony Roig a few episodes ago about why she hated tennis versus why she was able to love pickleball. And it was because tennis was kind of forced upon her, but she chose pickleball.
Mm.
And so I think to a certain extent, yes, like I'm trying to find the balance too. Like how much do I kind of push my kids versus how much do I let them choose it, choose the sports. And I think there is a tricky balance to find, but I think ultimately, end of the day, they really have to choose the sport.
100%. If you want them to keep pursuing it when you're not there, right? Or when you're
mm,
not in the area or at home, it's got to be something that they love also. I don't even know if I would have continued to love tennis. Tennis, man, outside, it's so hot and like it's so soup. I mean, it's very competitive, which is good, but you've got to be personality wise, especially in junior tennis, you have to almost
mm,
hate the other player.
hmm
Every time you have to make some bad calls and so all of these things. It just was never my. I have probably over 50 junior medals just from playing tennis and didn't like it. Even
Yeah.
winning a tournament, just kind of like, man, I won, but I'm in trouble, when I get home because I didn't win this way. Not my thing.
Yeah, apparently now Division 1 college tennis has become extremely competitive. My former doubles partner was telling me getting her daughter into college and whatnot. She barely squeaked by a D3, but because of the whole NIL thing, now it's sort of trickled down to other sports. And I think it was 60% of Division 1 players now are international. They're not even Americans. Yeah, and a lot of like pe kids who would have gone D1 in the past are now playing at the D3 level, which is squeezing D3 level people out. But yeah, it's a whole thing. But I am actually curious, just changing gears a little bit about table tennis because you played as a junior until what age around?
Maybe 10, 11. Yeah, from
Okay.
like 7 years old to probably 10 or 11 years
Do
old,
you
something.
know do you know Wally Green?
I don't. Is he in New York City?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, well,
I
so
think
I
I
was
do.
gonna ask because I mean, 10, 11, so you really didn't take it, that much further to develop. But I assume you were pretty good as a 10 and 11-year-old playing tournaments and winning trophies and whatnot, as I was reading. And uh, many pros come from a tennis background, and that translates very well into pickleball. And I think a good college tennis player could jump right into pickleball and easily be a 4.0 to 4.5, and then within a year, if they're consistently playing and practicing, they could probably get to 5.5. But I also think that there are some interesting things that can translate from ping pong or table tennis to pickleball. My pal Don Alto, he's out in California now, but he was in Boston. Tosh, you remember Don? He had the sickest, spinniest backhand flick I've ever seen. And you see
Yeah.
guys like Len Yang and Wally Green, Tosh just mentioned. Um, what does your table tennis brain, and again, I know it was 10, 11 years old, but what does your table tennis brain see when you're playing pickleball that like a traditional pickleball player might not see, or even a tennis player coming into pickleball might not see? Like, what are the transferable skills there?
There's a good amount. And to give you perspective on it, I played tennis for let's say 6 years-ish, 6 or 7 years maybe. I played table tennis for only 4 to 5. And I played table tennis at a younger age,
Right.
but more of my game now resembles table tennis than it does tennis,
Interesting.
right? You would think it'd be more tennis like because I had more experience there, but it's not. The
Okay.
backhand flick is definitely one that ping pong players, table tennis players, they naturally kind of have. Like Len Yang has the same thing. Ben Johns came from a lot of ping pong table tennis. So that one for sure translates right away. But the short swings, you hear people talk about like when the ball gets fast, especially in pro pickleball at the higher levels, you really have to have a short, quick twitch swing to stay in the rally. If you're swinging big, you could be in trouble. And that's the maybe one of the number one things people do in tennis is this big loopy swing, right? So they have to take their big loopy swing and find a way to shorten it
Hmm.
versus ping pong players take their short swing and just find a way to make it a little bit longer when they need to. But with paddle technology, and because you can hit a ball harder now with a similar paddle, you don't even have to have a big swing. You can have a small swing and get a good result, which is better for pickleball. So I think that ping pong translation is honestly the best. Where tennis comes into play, and is probably the most important piece from the tennis side, is the footwork. That is the one where you see tennis players come in and they make their way to the net. They split step before somebody hits it. They can lunge to their left, their right, and it's all instinctual. That's years of footwork training from tennis. You
Yes.
don't get all of that footwork training from table tennis. Now, if you're just standing at the kitchen line, then yeah, tennis, ping pong, you're fine. It's good. Making your way from the baseline to the kitchen, I would say that your tennis experience is more important coming forward than your table tennis experience.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that breakdown.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
those are the two like pieces that I'm always considering when I notice, something's off. I
Mhm.
always have my elbows in and I want to keep my paddle like more in front of me, like at my periphery, and then also my footwork. Those are great things to for the listeners, especially I'm sure to take to their pickleball courts and practice.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like footwork is just, you forget about it because it's
Hmm.
not really a skill that people work on, but your mobility and your footwork are so foundational and key. And in the times when I've watched myself, playing back footage and I'm thinking, oh, or I'm not playing well, if I bring my focus and intention back to my feet, whether it's being more bouncy, whether it's, really exaggerating my split steps or just getting my body behind the ball with my feet, it just elevates my game. It changes things so
Hmm.
drastically. So I think
Yeah.
that is a great tip. I mean, I'm assuming you tell that to all the people you coach about the
Yeah.
feet first, right?
Yeah. And I mentioned before this podcast that I was playing singles.
Yeah.
Singles is something that I typically didn't like as much. It resembles a lot of tennis in some respects, for sure. On the footwork side, a lot of tennis. So I would rather, for a while, I'd rather play doubles. You get shorter steps. You got a partner, you don't have to cover as much court, but you start to understand how something like singles can make you better in doubles when it comes to your footwork, your mobility,
Mm.
even just your ground strokes, your third shots, all of that stuff. And so right now, I play singles. I've competed in it a little bit as well, but I primarily play singles as training for my doubles. It's
Mm.
only about footwork, right? When you in singles, if the ball's going to go past you, you got to go get it, right? And so, like, to me, it exasperates all of the anything that's wrong with your footwork. You
Mm.
see it right away. Whereas in doubles, if you miss a particular ball, first thing people think about isn't usually footwork. A lot of times they look to the right or look to the left and they go, all right, man, hey, don't hit that shot or watch
Or they
out.
look at their paddle and be like,
Right. Or their
bad paddle.
paddle or something, when it's just you out there in singles and somebody hits a ball by you, you start to really hone in on, man, I missed the step right here. Or I was right there, but I missed the ball. It's because my momentum was going forward. I couldn't slow myself down. I always advise people, especially players that want to get better or play at a high level, go play some singles. You don't have to play the best player in singles. Go play somebody that's similar to your level in singles. And then when you can beat them, go play the next person because all of that stuff will translate to your doubles. You don't have to ever sign up for a singles tournament. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you, if you're not going to go work on footwork drills before you go actually drill your shots, then go play singles for 30 minutes and then go do some drills and watch how your game starts to get better. Watch how your endurance is better. Watch how you're a little bit faster. Your balance on the court becomes better. Doubles start to seem a little bit slower because you don't have to cover as much court. I'm preaching a lot on singles, which is kind of crazy. If this was a year ago, you'd be like, this guy doesn't even want to play singles.
Well,
But I've seen a lot of better.
it's funny to me because when I think about singles, I kind of want to like blow my brains out. I'm like, I don't, it's going to be too hard on my body.
Do you
I'll be
play,
sick.
Neely? Do you play
No,
singles?
no, I've
Okay.
never played one game of single, but
Never?
I'm
Wait, you've
turning
never played?
never, never. I think with that one tournament where we
Okay.
did, it was a minor league pickleball. We were on that team together.
Yeah.
The Dream Breaker, I
Yeah.
had 4 singles points. That's the only singles points I've ever played. But I'm thinking,
Okay.
I turned Pickle 50 in about 6 months. And I'm thinking the one redeeming quality about singles for me would be that I don't have to find a freaking partner, you know? Because partner hunting, as we all know, is a major pain in the ass half the time. But I don't know, Brandon, you're sort of selling me on it a little bit now
I mean, and
because
notice I said, you play against somebody at your level, right? So yeah, you're gonna get, a little bit exhausted, but not crazy, right? And so you're just going at a certain threshold that you can tolerate at that moment to really work on the footwork. And then if you feel good there, you start to get comfortable, you can ramp it up a little bit. We'll all hit some spot where it's like, all right, this is the best spot for me to kind of train at, which I'm kind of close with some of the partners that I'm playing. We're like, this is probably the top spot where I would need to train at, where I'm not going too far, where it's like
Yeah.
injuring me or lunging, but it's enough to continue to get me better in doubles, right? And help with the footwork and also get me a decent workout. That's the area I'm suggesting, like everyone that wants to be a better pickleball player, just find that space. And if you come back in 3 months, I don't think anyone would say, man, my doubles game sucks now because you made me work on my footwork in singles.
That's called skinny singles.
Skinny singles. No, do full
Skinny.
singles. Do full singles. You'll be
full
okay.
Oh
singles,
man.
regular
You'll
singles.
be
Oh
okay.
man, you're
All
asking a
right. Yeah.
lot from these Real Housewife, 50-year-old
Okay.
Real
I
Housewife.
gave you one more on this one that maybe even more important than just the footwork, which is crazy.
Okay.
I'm setting this up with the suspense. Is the mental portion that you gain from playing singles absolutely translates to doubles. As example for me, I'm pretty calm mannered when I'm playing doubles. I don't get too high, I don't get too low. In singles, I'm saying some words in my head that I don't normally say, right? I don't normally, it just invokes more emotion that you have to control in singles because it's just you out there,
Yeah.
right? You're like, it's not the paddle when you're far away from the ball. It's your legs, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, can I get that? I want to. So to me, that training is crucial when you get back to doubles. There's that confidence word I talked about. You start to exude a little more confidence because like, all right, I can go get to this ball. I feel a little bit better. So I think the mental training of singles is it's just so good.
Hmm.
Love
That's a
that.
good one, Neely.
Yeah, that I'm all
Yeah.
about the mental side
I
of
never
sports.
thought
So
about that before. And so you said that your mentality playing doubles is more even keel. Do you think there's one better way than another in how to play doubles mentally?
Mentally, I think everyone has to find, man, I can preach on this all day. Everyone has to find the best demeanor or disposition that works
Mm,
for them. And it's not as
mm,
easy. You kind
mm.
of think like, oh, I know that I'm this, I know that I'm that. You need to pressure test it. If you don't pressure test it, it's probably not as true as you think.
So
Uh,
when you say pressure test, you mean take it to a tournament and test it
Take it
out.
to a tournament, or like I said with the singles piece, you play some
Okay,
singles. You just need
right.
something where
That's
there's some
pressure.
pressure. Maybe you play
Yeah.
doubles and say winner gets $5 or whatever. There's
Okay.
something that will pressure test it and then see. As a quick example, we had a tournament here like last week. It was just kind of a money ball. And in the semifinals, there was a team that they just were letting it fly. Every point they won against us was like yelling at us and this guy's too slow and he can't do that. And I had told someone before we played them, said, I know that they like to yell and get fiery. I don't mind chirping back and forth. That's fine with me. I can definitely do it. My best disposition is usually just even kill. So I'm not going to chirp back and forth with them because I know that's something that they like.
Yeah.
It be used as leverage on their side, right? We're almost evening it out. What I'm going
Yeah.
to do is stay calm through all of it. I won't say a word. I'll let them do all of the talking. And so they did that. There's a crowd watching. They did that. They're yelling it up. Well, what happened was we started to come back, which I felt good about it. We started coming back. And guess what? They got so tight that all of a sudden they couldn't really hit a ball over. It was like 7-0, couldn't make a ball. I know exactly where that comes from.
Mm-hmm.
They're not used to playing a quiet game,
Yeah.
used to playing a game where it's like a lot of fiery stuff. Someone's yelling at them. And I know that if I go the complete opposite and have you play my mental style game, you can't handle it. Right.
yeah.
So
You made
that's
them
what I'm talking about.
uncomfortable.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. If you can find that, it not only works for you, but also on the other side,
Yeah.
if those people can't recognize what's good for them, what they should have done was yell the entire game down
Yeah.
or they should just go, come
Double
on,
down
it
on it.
matter,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
they
Right, right. No, that is so interesting. I do agree. Everybody has to find what works best for them. Like I remember Anna Bright saying that, some people play better playing with a little bit of agitation, right? They're just have something to prove, a chip on their shoulder. Some people play better that way. Some people play better saying nothing, no emotions, nothing. They don't give away anything to their opponents. But I think to your point, you're right. Like I thinking about myself, feel like I have to play with intensity and hyping myself up, saying, yeah, come on, cheering myself and my partner on after a good point. But to your point, that has to be consistent throughout the whole match, even if you're down. And Susanna Barr was just pointing this out to me because I had her do some video analysis on one of my videos. She said, you and your partner were playing this one match. You're playing great, high intensity, cheering each other on. That's why you won that pool match. But then when we got into the finals, even when we were down, we were just sort of hard on ourselves and moping around. And she's like, you need that same energy and intensity that you had in the previous game, even when you're losing, even when you're down 7-0 and you win one big point, cheer, hype up your partner, hype up yourself. And so I think that's a great point is that consistency of however you play best, but having that be consistent throughout the entire match. Yeah. So that
Yep.
was
No, I agree. That's people don't, you don't recognize that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
we lost you a little
No,
bit.
I might be lagging a little
Yeah,
bit.
I
okay.
think you were going in a little
Okay,
bit in and
okay.
out.
No, that I'm telling you from
Oh, Neely's having an
oh, maybe
issue.
that's you.
Oh, did you guys hear me through that whole tirade?
Yeah. Yeah, we
Okay.
heard.
Yeah, we
Okay.
heard you. It looks
Yeah.
like
All
you're
right.
back now.
Okay. All right. Sorry,
Yeah,
Brandon. Go
I
ahead.
think you're good now. I was just gonna say you're right. No, you're good. Just gonna say that consistency on the mental side, and it's such a huge piece. You've heard people probably say that the game is more mental than it is physical, and when the margins are small, that's when that comes out. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
just tons of examples. One thing that I learned over time was overall, all of my best, see you later. Overall, all of my best pickleball games or matches in tournaments were matches where a lot of people were watching. Just overall, right?
Hmm.
Overall, all of my worst games in tournaments were
Yeah.
games where not a lot of people were watching.
Yeah.
Court 36, you're up next on court 24 in the back corner.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear me.
Sorry, I
Oh,
don't know what
okay.
happened.
No, you're good. You're
Okay.
good.
You good?
That was like it cuts right there. Somebody's gonna click like, what's the fool? What else did he say? No,
Yeah.
I always, I always feel like there's one person watching on the live stream that's like, oh man, Brandon's not that good, or stream, or I would record it because it instills in me that okay, I'm entertaining again, so now I can be a little bit more calm in this particular match. But I had to understand it about myself. It took me a couple years to understand it.
There's so many pieces of playing sports like that impact your performance on the court or on the field or wherever you are.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's sometimes it's just about playing pickleball, but sometimes you have to pull from the mental side. Sometimes you have to pull from like the energy of your partner. Sometimes you have to pull from the energy of the crowd or lack thereof, and or even the energy within yourself. There's so many pieces. That's why I'm so fascinated with sports because when you get like behind the actual sport and the plays and the strategy of it, like there's just so much more that can come up and you just kind of never know. I don't think when things you're gonna have to pull on different strings.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're talking a lot about your coaching, or like, just you as a player, but I want to highlight about your CoachAdapt. Can you tell the listeners more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. CoachAdapt, it's a AI fitness and nutrition app. It's essentially something that will tell you what you should eat and how much of it you should eat wherever you're at. I had an issue when it came to losing weight or body fat of I could stay on plan if I bought everything from the store and I meal prepped it and I never left my house. I'm good. I'm gonna eat it for breakfast, for lunch, I'm good. Whenever my schedule changed, oh, I have to be at work a little bit longer today. Oh, I'm out of town right now. All of the plan that I had went down the drain. I'm throwing away stuff at the house.
Mm,
Hey, look, I just need to get some fries from Chick-fil-A. I'm hungry right now.
yeah.
Whatever chaos was happening, I couldn't stay on plan. So what I did was I built this AI app that would essentially keep me on plan wherever I'm at with whatever's going on. If I can't stay at home and eat, and I'm like, man, the only thing available is Chick-fil-A. It's like, hey, what should I get at Chick-fil-A that's good for my goals today, right now? Oh, go ahead and get this. Cool, I'll get that. Then after that, I'm gonna go work out right now. What do I need to do? Oh, you need to do this type of workout. As soon as you're done, you should eat this. Well, they're closed. What do I do? Well, go here. Right. So that's where I built CoachAdapt to have this like 24/7 trainer in your pocket that knows all from an AI perspective and can give you a roadmap to losing weight. And I end up losing like almost 40 pounds, 35 pounds in like
Oh,
three
wow.
months, 3 months, 3.5 months, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Great.
Yeah,
Amazing.
no, that
So,
it's clever too, because I mean, I'll go away to tournaments and you staying at hotels, and you never really know what to eat. And okay, if there's an Olive Garden nearby, but what's healthy? What should I get? What's going to fuel me for my match tomorrow?
mm,
So yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah, I needed to retrain my mind on what something healthy was. Because whenever it came to losing weight, it's like, yeah, I'm out of town and I need to eat something healthy. I'm going to go get a salad, grilled chicken salad or something. Or that was kind of like my go to, or something
yeah.
that's really small, portion wise. but CoachAdapt has all the macros in it, and especially since it's tailored for you each day, now understanding that, man, almost 3 nights a week, I'm eating like an 8-ounce steak with rice at home. I would classify that as a big meal before, as like, wow, I don't know if I want to keep eating this. But when I look at the app, it's like, dude, you need this or you're not going to lose weight. And so I'm eating happily, saying like, man, I'm getting a good meal and I'm going to be down a pound in the morning. This is more fun than I thought, right? But it's just understanding those macro portions. I probably haven't had a salad in 3 or 4 months. Not that I don't like them, but it hasn't been suggested on my app. It hasn't said like you should go get a salad from here. It's more so like get this type of protein or get these type of carbs.
And is this Coach Adapt for pickleball players or for athletes or for just like your everyday
It's
person?
for everyday person.
Okay,
I would say the best people it's for is for busy professionals. It's probably the biggest
got it.
one, right? So like if you've got a lot going on in your days, right, and you want something to actually give you a plan without thinking, CoachAdapt is going to be the best thing for you to just lay out your day. You could wake up in the morning and say, what should I eat today? It's going to look at your history and say, you should have this for breakfast, this for lunch. And all of those things are things you've probably eaten based on what the app data says, right? You could tell it where you're at. Sometimes I'll say, I'm in North Austin and I need something to eat. Give me suggestions. Here's 4 restaurants. Here's what you should get. Take off the pickles, take off the onions. I'm
Hmm.
like, let's go. That's what
Oh
I need.
God, that's so
That's
okay.
great.
You just go to the app store and download the app, and then it's all in there.
Available. Yep, available on the App Store. You'll see it, Coach Adapt. You'll see my name on the ownership piece. I'm trying to get that changed, trying to get that hidden for now. It's just sitting there. But yeah, I'm making short story is when I was in college, I have a computer science degree. So I've
Got it.
made a bunch of different apps, um, some not so good, some great. And this was the latest iteration of I need something that works for me. And after it did, people were asking, can it work for them? And it's starting to do that.
Great.
Wow, so cool.
Yeah, that is.
Brandon, switching gears a little bit, because we're sort of winding down with time. I was reading in one of the articles out there about you. I think this might have been from the Empower Pickleball article that Tosh referenced earlier. You were quoted as saying there's an energy about pickleball where people want you to be part of the game, and how that stood in contrast to basketball, where you had to earn your place, and then tennis, which you said felt very cutthroat and rigid, and that in pickleball, at least when you first started out, certainly people just were inviting you in. They wanted to play with you. Didn't really matter your level. Um, I'm wondering because Tosh and I have talked about this, especially on our last episode, Tosh, when we talked about his pickleball getting too serious,
Yeah.
on the beach.
Oh, look at that. Look at
Oh, all
that.
right. Oh, look at that
That's my
house.
real background.
There we
Oh boy.
go.
Oh, living the tough
Oh,
life, I
man.
Yeah.
see. Oh my God. All right.
I'm so sorry about that.
We were just talking about how the culture of pickleball, and it's a relatively new sport, and it started out all fun and games and
Yeah.
rainbows and everyone's happy, and
Yeah.
now is it becoming too serious? Is it becoming more cutthroat and
Yeah.
competitive? And obviously sports grow and evolve over time, but there is a worry out there that it's become a little bit toxic. Brandon, what would you say about that?
As a club owner here in Austin, it's an interesting conversation right there for
Oh,
sure. Because
okay, well, spill the tea.
yes, I do think it's gotten slightly more competitive.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like I don't feel like that's outside the norm for a sport. Like more people coming in, there's obviously more competition that's naturally there. I still feel a lot of inclusivity when it comes to pickleball. I think there's a ton of people that want you to, they want to hand you a paddle, they want to take you to their club and play and add you in. As you move up levels in pickleball, though, that's where I think the competition portion and maybe there's less inclusivity that's there. But I don't feel like it's from I don't think it's there's a negative portion of that as far as like people doing it against your actual person. I think it's solely related to skill, in my opinion. And that's like a hill that I'll die on right there. It's just like I think it's specifically if you're close in skill with somebody, they want to include you. If you're not close in skill with somebody, I think majority of players don't necessarily want to include you, and it has nothing to do with they don't like you. It has all the things to do with they've found something that they love, that they want every single minute of them doing what they love to be enjoyable. And we know that if you're not playing with someone that's at your skill level, it's not as enjoyable as it is with your friends. That's it. And I think if you can find those matchups, it becomes inclusive a bunch, right? So, whereas I think tennis to me, little different. I think if there's someone that's close to you, sometimes I felt like you still need to be their friend or something, or find a way into the in crowd. Like I'm good, but they still won't let you play. Basketball, I saw that as well. Like, hey, I'm a good player, but they won't even let you prove it. Like you've got to go find a way to prove it somewhere else, or hope that somebody, I don't know, like, oh, maybe they rolled their ankle, so they need one. And then now I can finally play. But
Right.
they'll never let me. I don't think pickleball's like that. They just want to see, oh, you are at our level, I'll include you. I don't think you're at our level. I don't, you're out of it. So I
Yeah.
feel that's the case.
I do remember the first time I was, I don't know, maybe a year or so in, and I was playing with this guy pretty regularly in tournaments, and we got the call to play with these two players who were higher than us. And it was like the seas parted. I canceled everything on my schedule. I canceled like my doctor's appointment for like some, I don't know, something that was going, like canceled,
Right.
cleared my schedule to be able to go and play with these two. And then, yeah, so I mean, the day you get that invite is
Yeah.
does feel pretty good. Not gonna
Someone asked me on social media like a week ago, they said, what's the best level to play at? Like your favorite level to play at? And I said, it's the level above yours.
lie.
That's
Right.
literally everybody. And
Although,
that's where everyone wants to play.
you know what's interesting though? I think it's important to, yes, if you can. It's very difficult at the 5.0 level here in the Boston area because there's not a ton of 5.0 plus players. It's great to play with people above you. You need that to see where, okay, these are the ways I need to get better in order to get to this level. These are the things I need to stop doing in order to get to this level. And then, of course, playing with people your own level is good. But I do think it's important also to play with people who you're better than, at least like 30% of the time. I don't know what the percentages would be, but um, because sometimes you just need to feel really good about yourself. Like you need to leave that court feeling like, oh, I'm a fucking rock star. I played so well. Like, and just that it's that confidence boost. And I would also argue, I played in a tournament recently and I'm a 5'2", my partner was like a 5'3", and we were playing all like 4 or 5 players around that. And I said to her, I said, listen, we're obviously the favorites here. We won the tournament, but afterwards I said we're the favorites. But I think it's important to play in these types of tournaments because you need to practice getting good at beating people you should beat.
Man, I
Uh,
love that.
yeah, and I think that's important for listeners and viewers to know is that yes, you want to strive and you want to play in the draws that are above you, but it's also good to practice beating people below you and be consistently beating them and beating them with, good scores.
Man, you've been following me. Did you listen to me yesterday when I was having this conversation in the club?
I didn't, but I told this to Gina, my partner, 3 weeks ago when we played in this tournament. And
Yeah.
then it's funny because I heard somebody else talking about it later on, and I'm like, damn, I'm smart.
Yeah, no, that's it. We have our club is unique. We have a level system where we put people in certain levels if they don't have a duper, and all of this stuff is a little bit different. But I was explaining to somebody that it's actually a skill, to your point, to be able to beat people that aren't as good as you. And I said, any tournament you ever play in and you ever go to, you have to understand that there's going to be a team that's not as good as you. There's at least one, right? Like, and so you get into a tournament thinking that you're only going to play people better than you, and you play well against them, whether you win or lose. But the people that you're supposed to beat, I've seen people get so tight because every time they hit a ball, you're thinking, these people aren't good. How are they scoring a point? because you're not used to playing people that aren't as good as you that actually score points, because they can score points too. How do you deal with that? How do you navigate it? Good. That's a huge point that people have to understand. You should be spending some time playing people that aren't as good as you.
Well, it's
Mm.
interesting because I also played a few months ago. There's a girl in my area who's new to pickleball, 6 or so months in, and we were playing in a tournament where there were some pretty high level teams, and we in our pool play, we won. We won all of our pool matches, and we beat some low five teams. We beat a team with like a 5-4 and a 5-3 on it, and we were like, "Yeah, this is great. This is awesome. We're winning the pool, and now we're going into the medal round." And in the medal round, in the semifinals, we played against two girls who were 4-5s. We lost 15-13. Didn't even make it to medal contention. And it was just an example of how, like, yes, we beat the teams that were maybe a little bit better than us or around our level, and that was awesome. That felt really good. But then we lost to the team we should have beat. And so I think that was a good, just a good lesson for me is that, you still have to kind of focus in and really, pedal to the metal against the teams that you should beat.
Oh, that happens. Yeah. I think that's a great lesson. Just to, kind
A
of put
hard
you back in your
lesson.
place. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So,
that's the last part I'll add on that piece, Rick, is just if you got to go in there with zero expectations. And
mhm.
that's when people end up losing to people that aren't as good, because you naturally walk in there going, oh, we got them. It's like, dude, you just gave up 3 points because you just thought that in your head.
Right.
You shouldn't be thinking that. You should be thinking about, if I play my game, I feel like we're in a good spot. And we don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to play as good as I can play. When you
Yes.
Mhm.
start looking at them and going, no way they can beat us, I'm like, I've done it before. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, no, never take anybody for granted, that's for sure.
And so, Brandon, we've kind of come to the end of our hour.
Tosh, sorry, can I jump in
Yeah,
real quickly?
sure.
Brandon, I saw your son doing a little bit of a freestyle rap on your Instagram. I was
Yeah.
curious, do you freestyle rap? Did he
Yeah.
learn that
Oh,
from you?
man. Yeah. You know what? I had a failed rap career. Let's call it that. I got like 40 songs out
What?
there somewhere. Hopefully maybe people find them, maybe they don't, but I was all in. I mean,
Oh,
I was,
stop it. That's
yeah,
amazing. Wait,
done a lot.
if I were to set the beat, because I keyed up, I figured he learned it from you, and so that this was my in. I set up freestyle, beats in YouTube. I found it. If I set
My
up the
God.
beat, can you do a little freestyle RHOP rap or something for us?
Man, you
Or
know
am I
what?
really putting you on the spot?
You know what? I'm not one to decline it. I'll try it out.
Hey, that's
Okay.
right. That's
All
I
right.
right.
fail,
Hold on.
if
Let
I
me
fail, it's okay. It's all good.
tell me if you can hear this.
Sweet.
Can you hear that?
I can't.
No, I can't hear that.
Oh, shoot. I wonder if it's
What if
because
what if you record something, Brandon, and send it to us, and then we can edit it in?
or
Oh, you know
or
what? I got you. I can record one.
or what if I pull it up on my phone and then I play
Okay.
it into the
Let's see. Let's
Okay.
see.
Okay, so hold on. Freestyle rap instrumental beat,
Let's see it.
YouTube, and I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. Okay, let's see. Um, okay, let's see. Here it is. Okay, ready? Hold on.
Let's see.
Tell me if you can hear it now because I'm not playing it through my computer.
No. Can you hear
Can't
something at
hear
all?
it?
No, I can't hear it
Oh
either.
my God.
And
It's so frustrating. All right, well maybe you will have to
I
you
can
have
send
to
you one. I can
Yeah.
send you one. I feel
send
like
it
that, you
and
know what?
we'll edit it in right to this part
Yeah.
of the podcast.
Honestly, that would be,
And
yeah,
if your son
I'm
wants
cooking
to
up something
join,
right now. Huh?
and if your son wants to join too.
Oh, you know what? He does like he's an entertainer. I should have he's there too.
All right, bummer.
I'll
Sorry that
send
didn't
you
work
one of
out.
those. Oh, it's all good. All good.
Okay. So, Brandon, I didn't even ask you. You're a coach at what club?
Apex Pickleball Clubs. It's here in North Austin,
in North
in the Cedar
Austin.
Park area. Mhm.
So if any of our listeners are ever traveling around, stop into Apex in North Austin, can they grab a coaching lesson with you?
Absolutely. You can grab a lesson, download our app. It's Apex Pickleball Clubs on the App Store, also on the Android, Google Store as well. We've only been open for 6 months. It's a club that was open with me and some friends, kind of so family friend run business here. And we're doing things different. We got a full restaurant upstairs. We got 16 indoor courts with cushion out here. Really good community and vibe. And we're setting a nice little trend here. So if any of the listeners want to come out to Apex, we'd love to have them.
Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, I play on the MLP Champion Series League
Yeah,
for
yeah.
50 plus, and we're coming to Austin the
Oh,
beginning
in
of
September,
September.
you're gonna be here in September.
I don't know if we're playing at Apex. I can't remember the name of, but I'm gonna find out and I will message you.
It's Apex for sure.
Oh, is it? Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
fun.
think
so
we're.
I do the programming
Oh
and
my God,
side as
awesome.
well. So
Oh,
I didn't know
that's
you were on the
amazing.
team. We'll see you here in
Yeah,
September.
yeah.
So
You can
exciting.
you can be my sideline coach.
I got
Yes.
you. Got you. As
um,
long as you're not playing against our team, because one of our other owners, he's on the Austin Ignite.
Austin Ignite. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, come
so you
on,
know what?
Brandon. Real
I got
Housewife, Austin
hey,
Ignite. Come on.
yeah, Austin Ignite. That's gonna be tough, tough.
And my other question is, do you offer virtual coaching for any of the listeners if they're interested, or is it
I
just in
do, yeah.
person? Okay.
Absolutely. They can reach out via Instagram and then I'll hit them back and would love to do that. Love to interact with as many people as possible and
Yeah.
them my opinions and advice on what I see on the court.
And one of the things that I love is getting to hear more about the people that I either watch on Instagram, and get to hear more about their life and their background. And we always run out of time. There's so many more questions that I have for you, Brandon,
I know.
and so many other topics to go into. But this has been really, truly special. We really appreciate your time. Um, and yeah, thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah, thank both of y'all. This has been awesome. And yeah, it feels like we've only been talking for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
It's a little, a
Don't
little
goes
over an
by
hour.
so quick.
don't forget to send us that freestyle rap, and I'll give
Oh,
Yes.
you
I got
oh,
you.
the topic is Real Housewives of Pickleball. Take it from there.
I think Real House, I'm not gonna miss an opportunity to show my skills on the
I didn't know, I
Yeah.
had no idea that you had done some rap music in your
yeah.
past, so this
There's
is amazing.
the only tidbit I'll give you is if you can find it,
Oh,
I did a cooking show on YouTube with one of my friends. We had a whole series. I think we had like 5 episodes. And on a lot of those episodes, we're doing improv the entire time and I'm freestyling and all of that. So
no way.
there's some hidden stuff on there on YouTube that
Okay.
people might find.
That's amazing. I'm totally going to stalk you after we hang up.
And at Real Housewives of Pickleball, Neely and I like to say that it's never too late to start something new. And with that, listen to us on Apple, on Spotify. Invite your friends if you love listening to Real Housewives of Pickleball to listen to an episode. And you can watch us and experience Real Housewives of Pickleball on YouTube.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Brandon.
Thank
Thank
y'all.
you.
Okay. Take care.
I'll message you about Austin too.
Definitely. I'll see you soon.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.